Hello, everybody. This is Coach Van in Fayetteville, North Carolina. And yes, you're seeing my tremendously artful gifts that I have here. It's really hard to even draw stick people with these virtual pens. What I'm going to be doing here tonight on this particular webinar that is for members only of ToolsTeam 2.0 is I'm going to revamp some of the update page so that people can actually know what the different webinars are so that they don't have to sit there and go through every single one of them to see what they are. And so this particular webinar, we're still going to give away stuff. We're still going to answer questions. But the first part of this webinar, I'm going to talk about one of the tools that is included with this package for only $20. Now, this tool is my favorite tool, and I mentioned this on the webinar last night. If this was the only tool that ToolsTeam 2.0 had, or whatever the company's name is, if it was the only tool there, I would be just as excited as I am with the fact that there's over 4 tools. Now, the reason for that is I know when we first did this with the original Tools team, a lot of people were hesitant because, hey, I don't want stuff on my Facebook page. I don't want my boss to see it. I don't want my family to see it. I don't want my high school. There was all these things that they did not want to do. Now, the thing is, once they realized that you can love Facebook, you can hate Facebook. This is a fact. This is not an opinion. Facebook is the largest marketing platform in the world. Millions of people join Facebook for the first time every week. So there's no such thing as saturation on Facebook. Even if you did reach all 1 billion people on Facebook this week, next week there's millions more people to present things to. Of course, that's with an extreme example of everybody seeing everything, which isn't true. So what I'm going to do here is give you an idea how this Facebook application, or the Facebook marketing application, as Jarhead likes to call it, and how that works. Okay, so here's a real sketchy Facebook page, and I just got this idea initially. So what I'm going to do is kind of jazz this up and get some more graphics, maybe even put a PowerPoint together. But for right now, hopefully you'll get the idea. So everybody is you. Okay, there's your picture. There's you. That's your name, you, and you're on Facebook. Let me get my highlighter here. So here's you. Okay, so you put whatever your name is. There's your Facebook page. And in this example, you've only got 3 friends. There's JP in his picture. There's Jay in his picture with a hat, and Sue with her picture and some hair. Okay, so you've got 3 Facebook friends. There's you, and you have this post. All right. Now this post wasn't made by you. All right, it looks like it because it's on your Facebook page. The system does that for you. And now on this post, says, hey, there's a webinar, you can win $20. Now this is your post. All right, you didn't do it yourself. It looks like it. It looks like you did it yourself. And so your friends see it. And let me turn on the pen. And so Sue goes, wonder what this $20 thing is here. So Sue, she just clicks on this, and then she gets a link that says, do you agree or do you accept this application? And most people on Facebook, when they're getting new apps, they just skip through. They don't read them. They don't go over the details. And I'm not saying this because, yeah, if they read them, there's not a problem. But they just say skip it because they just want to find out what it is that they're getting. And so Sue clicks on this. That's all she did. She clicked. She didn't fill out her name. She didn't fill out an email address or anything. But everybody on Facebook has to have a legitimate email address because you can't confirm your membership by putting in a bogus address. You might have a bogus name. Maybe Sue's really a big hairy guy named Jack or something, but that address that was used for Facebook had to be real. So now Sue clicks on this, says yes, she accepts the app. Now she gets an email saying, hey, Sue, all right, from you with, the info, whether it's about the webinar or promoting your juice deal or what have you. Now Sue's thinking, I didn't put any information. How does David, Susan, Karen, whoever you is, how does that person know her email address? How does she know her name? How does she even know that I'm even looking at her Facebook page? Well, because she clicked on that, lets her know saying, hey, there's a webinar here on July 16th, and we're giving away cruises and money and what have you. So she clicks on it and she finds out, well, hey, at 9 o'clock tonight, which is, like right now, she was going to be on another webinar, or she was taking the kids to dance lessons, or for whatever reason she didn't come. So we're doing the webinar and we're recording it, and she got the email inviting her, and she decided not to go. Well, the next day, say, hey, we recorded the webinar. Now it's July 17th, and we recorded the webinar from the 16th, and we said, hey, we gave away 3 cruises, went to number 1 person, number 2 person, number 3. I'll just make up some names, Jack, John, and Kate. They won cruises, and also we had $20 gifts to pay for these tremendous tools. They don't know what the tools are yet. And we paid for 2 people, and there was Kevin and Joyce. Okay, and this is the post that's going to go out the next day from all of the people who are using the tools that are tied in with Facebook. Sue didn't even go to the webinar, but she clicked on this post, all right, so she could get additional information. She got the info but decided not to go. So an email goes out to everybody who's using the Facebook thing, and everybody who's clicked on this link getting an email saying, hey, if you missed the webinar last night, here's the information. Jack, John, and Kate all won cruises, and Kevin and Joyce won $20 for this tremendous service. Click here if you'd like to learn more. Okay, that's an email, no big deal. But what this post does also is it goes on to Sue's Facebook page, and we'll just call it the 17. And this is Sue's page. It's not you going to her page and posting it on her page because she agreed to it. Now whenever the system posts, it posts to your page. That 17 is going on to your page also the next day saying, okay, here's the 17, but that's still yours, right? Okay, I know this print's getting small. This is on Sue's page, but because Sue didn't join, anybody who clicks on that, so now you're reaching Sue's friends, and Sue's friends are going, well, hey, Sue, looks like she's promoting some kind of webinar that gave away some cruises and some $20 or what have you. Every one of her friends that click on that link that says 17, they're getting emails from you saying, hey, check this out. And now the next time there's a webcast or some kind of event, and it's posted, say it's on the 23rd of July, it's going on to your page, it's going on to Sue's page, it's going on to, let's say Sue had a friend, we'll say John here, and John and Steve were Sue's friends, and they clicked on it. all of them are posting this on their Facebook page, but since none of them joined or purchased the tools for themselves, every time somebody just clicks on it, they're getting emails from you. And when they post the results of that webinar, that's going on your page, Sue's page, John's page, and Steve's page. Now, John and Steve's friends, you don't even know who these people are, they're posting information about a webcast. Maybe they went to it, maybe they didn't go to it. The system's doing this, and now any of their friends who say, hey, I wonder what this is going on. I'd like to go on a cruise. Heck, I'll register for an event if I can go on a cruise. Now, what you're promoting doesn't matter. You know, we're getting people to webinars or giving them reasons to opt into your Facebook marketing application, and maybe you are doing a juice deal. And so now your system has sent Sue, John, Steve, and their people who've clicked on these links to go to this webinar. Whether they go to the webinar or not, they're all getting emails inviting them to get juice from you. And maybe David is doing the same thing, but he's got a travel deal. And so Sue, John, and Steve in his situation, they're all getting encouraged to come to these webinars and to go to his travel website. Or if you say, well, hey, I don't have another program yet, they're all say, hey, go to this webinars and get these tools working for you. Say, hey, look, it works. You know, they actually do start to think, saying, you know, especially in this example here, you know, Sue's your friend. Okay, so Sue knows you. She still might wonder how the heck why she got an email from you when all she did was click a button. She never submitted any information. But John and Steve, they don't know you. And certainly you don't know friends of John and Steve's and John and Steve's friends' friends. But all of these people are now building up your database that the system sends out emails on a regular basis, not every day, but it's dripping on them. Now, what's going to happen is, let's say John here, he goes, I don't know who you are. Let's change you to somebody now. Let's say this is Janet, all right? And John and Steve don't know who Janet is. John's saying, I don't care I don't know Janet. I don't care if she's selling juice, giving money away, or whatever. I don't want to get emails from this Janet lady. So he clicks the unsubscribe button, which is very easy to do on email programs, right? So now John's not going to get any more email updates. Janet still has his information in her members area, and she can, you know, say, well, hey, John, I'm Janet. I represent this juice deal, or maybe she just ignores them all. Okay, somebody opted out, no big deal. Okay, but she also has his information. She knows his Facebook page. She can go send him an email on Facebook, say, hey, thanks for checking this thing out. Sorry you missed the webinar or whatever. You know, maybe next time you'll get on the cruise, or she introduces herself. These are all just options that you have. But anyway, John says, I don't want any more emails. So he opts out. But guess what? That just stops the emails. On the August 1st, when we promote, holy cow, we maxed out again. Hold on, I got to tell this thing to quit telling me when everybody comes in. That's 3 days in a row we've maxed things out. Okay, sorry about that. I shouldn't get any more notices. So now, let's say it's August 1st now, and so here comes another post. August 1st, we'll just put number 1. That shows up on Janet's page. That shows up on Sue's page. And now, let's say Sue, she paid the $20. So now, when it shows up on Sue's page, this is actually tied to Sue. But all of Sue's friends who clicked on the link prior to Sue making that purchase, they're still getting emails from Janet. It doesn't go back and start giving her friends emails and John's friends. Man, I thought I told the system not to tell me anymore. All right, but now Sue's paying. Okay, so now Janet is making, you know, the 100% match on Sue. She's making the $5 a month. But now John's not getting the email, his Facebook page still posts whatever it is that's on the first. Maybe it's a new webinar, maybe it's just something, something that gets a lot of people's attention, a funny dog dancing or something like that. Not all of the posts are going to be about business. They might just be something that people like to share that gets your word out. So maybe they'll just be, something funny. Nothing about business at all. But it's tied to you, so people click, hey, I want that on my web page, and so they start clicking share. And that goes to their pages, and somebody clicks on share from their pages. Now, they might not be getting direct leads from that, but these are all things to bring people to what? Bring people to you. So you can pitch them your tools? No. So you can build up your database to pitch them or share information with them on whatever you want. Maybe you're just trying to get the word out about your kid who wants to be, the #1 Girl Scout cookie salesman, and so you're trying to sell Girl Scout cookies over the internet. Or like the individual I told you, Vince, who's, can put all these different musicians together from all over the world with the idea that, hey, they want to help teach veterans how to play an instrument, and it's free. They're not advertising anything. They're advertising a service, but it's free. They're not trying to get money from anybody. They've just got, they're trying to match people or say, okay, I'm a veteran. So if I said, well, hey, I want to learn how to play the guitar, I could go to these guys and say, well, hey, I'm a veteran. I'm here in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Is there any of these musicians that are teaching veterans how to play an instrument? Anybody that's teaching guitar? And they say, well, we don't have anybody, but we have a trumpet player. And I go, well, okay, if I want some free trumpet lessons, I could go learn. And so that's what they plan on doing with this. They're sharing information to try to find more musicians to teach more veterans. They're not doing anything to try to make money. They're just trying to get this service out that they're very passionate about. They want to help veterans learn how to play instruments if there's veterans who want to learn. Okay, so they're not asking anybody for money. It's just information. All right, now if they start making money from the tools, from spillover, or other people who see these things say, well, hey, I'm not a veteran, or I might not want to, teach, an instrument or what have you, but I'd sure love to have this tool for my business. Whether it's, or hey, I just wrote a book, I want to sell as many copies of this book as I can, and so they use this to get the word out about their book. Okay, doesn't have to be an MLM. It doesn't have to be a sale of some sort where there's an exchange of money. This tool can be used for anything. And why is it my favorite tool? Again, because I know it works. I use this tool and it's been enhanced since then. The mailer is a lot better. And when the ToolsTeam 2.0, whatever that version comes out, people, if you look at all this and you're going, man, I'm lost. You're just drawing squigglies here, and Jay never wears a hat, and Sue's hair is not that long, and I don't know anybody named John or Steve, or you're speaking French to me, and I'm French, or something like that. What's good about this is if you have a Facebook page, all you have to do to get this thing started when it goes live is you say, you just accept it. Because you're a paid member, it's going to do the stuff for you. Even if you don't understand it, it's going to put posts on your Facebook page. It's going to look like you did it. You can delete it. I wouldn't recommend it, but it's going to look like you did it. And so other people who don't know how you did that stuff, and your list starts to grow or people start to join, this is what I mean when I tell people, again, this is not a company webinar. This is just me. It's not, yes, I'm, sponsored up at the top, and there's not going to be guarantees from the company, but I have no problems when we start to make my own personal guarantees about time frames. And if people want to do that on their own also, is I'll probably have something like, hey, if you just use the tools and you give this 3 months and you're not, making a profit off of your cost, I'll give you the money back. Now, is that just because I want to get a whole bunch of people to join up front? partly, yeah, I want to get a whole bunch of people to join up front. I want to get a whole bunch of people to join a month into it, and I want to get a whole bunch more people to join after we're a year old, 2 years old, and 3 years old. All right. But the main thing is I know if people join, and I've used this pitch or this line with other companies, if they join for the wrong reasons, if they join just, okay, I'll give Van $20 and he can do that tools thing or whatever, and probably, there's $20 out the window, no big deal. Spend that much, on beer or whatever, going to the movies with my girlfriend or whatever their reasons are. Okay. If they join for the wrong reasons, they'll stay for the right ones. And if it's the right ones, depend on the individual. Maybe Sue's saying she just wants to make money. So if she's making money, she's going to stay. Maybe Doug stays because he wants to get some tools to help build his juice business. If his juice business is growing because of the tools, he's going to stay for those reasons. All right, so it doesn't matter what the reasons are. They're the right reasons for you if you're staying. So the people with Facebook saying, well, I don't want my friends to be spammed. They're not spammed unless they click on a link saying, hey, I want information. This is not putting your info on their site. This is them putting your info on their site because they agreed to it. Now, they can remove the app. The other thing I started to tell is people unsubscribing from an email list. They've been, even people who don't know much about the internet, they know how to say, click here to remove or click here to unsubscribe, and they do that. And sometimes it's unsubscribed immediately. Sometimes they might see you're going to be unsubscribed within the next 48 hours. Some people realize that they never click unsubscribe because they know some companies sell all the unsubscribed emails to some other company because they know when you click unsubscribe, what you did is, yes, you might have unsubscribed yourself from that list, but you just confirmed to those people that that's a real email address. There's somebody there who does not want their info, but they'll take all of the unsubscribed lists and they might go sell them to somebody else. And there's companies who will buy a list of everybody who's unsubscribed. Why? Not because they think you're negative, because they know every one of those email addresses are real. Okay, so anyway, that was kind of a different thing. But when it comes to applications, most people don't ever take the time to learn how to remove an app. Some people add an app and they go, okay, and maybe they're in Farm Life or Mafia Wars or whatever, and they're not playing anymore, but they never go and stop or turn off those apps, the Angry Birds, whatever app that they have. There's hundreds of thousands of apps on Facebook, but very few of those apps, if any, will make you money. This one will make you money. And there'll be other things added to it down the road, but this one works even if you don't understand a clue what I'm saying. If you can push a button, if you have a Facebook page, you're good. If you don't have a Facebook page, I strongly recommend you get one. If you don't feel comfortable enough with it at first, make up a Facebook page and watch how this thing will work. Okay? The average post on Facebook is seen by 120 people. It doesn't matter what the post is. That could be some very critical content. It could be something funny. It could be about business. It could be just a kid going, I'm bored. That's it. It says, how do you feel today? And they say, I'm bored. That's all they wrote. On average, 120 people see that. Not because they've got 120 friends, because the average person on Facebook has 200 friends. Some have a whole lot less. Some have a whole lot more. I've got like 5,000. I've got people on my list who have like 30 friends, okay? Facebook friends. That doesn't mean I know 5,000 people or somebody else with 30 only knows 30. All right? Now, whether you're on Facebook, you don't have to log in to do this. If you only check Facebook once a week or once a month, or you just created an account and you never do it again, not a problem. This is still going to look like you're active because it's doing the post for you. They don't know that you haven't checked your Facebook page in 3 weeks or what have you, because you just did a post yesterday inviting all of your friends to go to a webinar. Say, hey, come to this webinar. Maybe you'll win a prize. Maybe you'll win a cruise. What the webinars won't do is, for those people who are marketing other programs, the system will not market a webinar to everybody's page about a specific company. The emails, once people opt in, will have your information, but you won't say, hey, come to a, you know, a Mary Kay webinar. And you're thinking, hey, I'm not in Mary Kay. I want to pay $20 to have everybody go to a Mary Kay webinar. But if you're a Mary Kay person and they have people come to a webinar where we talk about, you know, training or talk about the tools that they can use for whatever company they are, and then you're being proactive, they got an email saying, hey, this is a webinar and it's generic, but I'm using these tools to promote Mary Kay, or I'm using these tools to promote whatever. The system will never promote a specific company other than the tools itself. There'll be times maybe there's a special guest in professional development. Maybe there's an author who wrote a book on sales, and he's agreed to, you know, give everybody in the ToolsTeam 2.0 or whatever the thing comes out a discount if they come to a webinar. So we say, hey, certain famous person going to be on this webinar, click here. And maybe all these people come to the webinar just simply because they want to, you know, get a discount on this famous person's new book or tape or whatever. As long, again, the famous person can't be promoting another MLM. This is just something specific to that person that's going to help build your list. And your list can be for whatever program you want. And if your only thing that you're promoting is the tools itself, we don't encourage people to do that, but we know there will be people who do. But we'll also help people through the Facebook group to where people can go, well, hey, when testimonies start to show up and they say, well, hey, I heard Sue is in a travel company and she used these tools to increase her travel income like 20%. I'm kind of interested in travel. Travel seems like it might be kind of a fun thing. And my sponsors, you know, in a juice deal, and as far as in ToolsTeam 2.0, so I don't really like the juice thing, but I might like this travel thing. So maybe I go onto Facebook in the group and go, hey, Sue, can you tell me more about this travel thing? Now they've used the tool to find a company or a niche or a product or a service that they can be excited about. And, you know, Sue might be thinking, well, my sponsor would love to have me join their juice deal, but I'm not interested in the juice deal. But the more excited Sue is about the tools, now if she joins the travel deal and she's doing all these things and getting all her people in the travel deal to use these tools, and her income is going up, guess what? The juice person who sponsored her is making 100% match and the $5 a month. Okay, 100% match, plus everybody who joins, that's increasing their matrix money. All right, let's knock out some questions here. Before we get to the first question, let me give away a quick cruise here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go with for this time, we go with the first person who asked a question who hasn't already won something. And that would be Doug in North Carolina. Shoot me an email, Doug. And you're the first winner tonight of a cruise. All right. And here's the question. Is there any way a person can friend request all people on Facebook at one time? No, because when we start doing Facebook training, for those who want it, nothing's going to be required. And some of this training that I give is because I've made mistakes. If you start just asking people to be your friend and they don't know who you are, and people start to complain, saying, hey, this Doug guy keeps asking me to be his friend, I don't even know who it is. After a certain number of people complain, they say, well, hey, all right, you can't ask anybody to be your friend anymore. And at first they'll say, okay, you can't do it for 7 days. Then when you get caught again, they'll say, hey, you can't do it for 14 days. And then you get caught again, they'll say, hey, you can't ask anybody to be your friend for 30 days. And they'll cancel all of the friend requests you've done, so they won't be pending. And then if you don't agree to their terms, they'll kick you off of Facebook. Now, I can say this because back when I used to ask everybody to be friends all the time, I kind of learned the hard way that I've been told a number of times that I can't ask anybody to be friends anymore. Now I've got too many friends, so even when people ask to be my friend, they usually get a note saying, Van's got too many friends, he can't accept friend requests. But now they've added a follow me feature, so there we go. Okay. Doug's also asking, is there a limit on how many friends you can have on Facebook? Yes, 5,000. There's no limit to followers. You can have all the people in the world follow you on Facebook, but you can only actually have 5,000 friends. Now, if you see people who have 5,100 or 5,200, it's because they had such a large amount of people that had friend requests out there, and if people accepted a request that was made before you had 5,000, because I had up to 5,200 once, and I started deleting them so I could make room for people who were doing the same business as me. But like right now, I think I got room for like 30 more friends or something. Okay, but yes, there is a limit of 5,000. Bob says, does the company have a website? Yes, but it's not being released yet until it's done, because if you know the name of the website, you'll also know the name of the company. And so that's the reason Jarhead's not releasing it. Yes, I know the name of the company, and I'm not telling you because he's asked me not to. I don't know the date. It's not, and I would tell you if I knew the date and he asked me not to. I don't know the date, and he asked me not to, or make up one either. Okay. The other thing I'm going to be doing here is when we're updating the update page, there's going to be a Q&A. We're getting some consultants on graphics, and I'm going to try to streamline it more so people can use it for presentation for those who want more information. And we'll still do Q&As on all the webinars, but I'll try to put some stuff together so you don't just see nothing but chicken scratch there. Matter of fact, while I'm answering questions, let me switch this over to view some of the highlights. Okay, and let me turn the pen off here. Whoops. All right, so today we've got so far Doug Hinton in North Carolina. And let's give away another first person to pay here. Okay. All right, Kim Winters. Kim, I need you to send me an email that has your username. I didn't sponsor you, so I also need your sponsor who referred you to ToolsTeam 2.0 and your sponsor's username, so that when you're entered into the matrix, you're going to be entered into the matrix as paid, and whoever your sponsor is already made $5, along with matching you 100%. So far we got Kim Winters is going to have her first month paid for, and Doug Hinton's got a cruise. And we might be giving away some more stuff tonight. Okay, this is from Michael. Are all of these postings automatic and linked to me and my affiliate site? Yes. Your affiliate site for the tools. They won't link automatically to your whatever you're using the tools for. So they're not. Now you can go ahead and post, if you're in a travel deal, you can post your own travel website on your Facebook page anytime you want, and you can use the tools page that you purchase to promote your site. But the system, the generic part of it that's posted for you will always be about the tools and the events that are promoting the tools. But the emails that will drip will send out emails on your behalf on whatever you tell them to. When you set up your account, you can say, well, hey, I want my system to send out emails to drip on, Amway. And so they send out your Amway email. Somebody else, and then if you change your mind, 3 weeks later, say, don't send it to Amway anymore, send it to, Mary Kay. All right, I'm not trying to plug other companies. I'm just saying ones that everybody's heard of before. Okay. All right, Kaz, how is our ID tied to the Facebook post? Because that's how the system does it. When they call it a token. When you accept the thing, the system knows in the token, so that when it does a post for everybody, it goes by the token that from the link that you clicked on. So if you're just a guest and you're a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend on somebody who's Facebook, and nobody's actually joined in between there, you might get emails, or you're actually promoting somebody's tools page. You might not even know who they are until you actually say, hey, I want to get this for myself. Now all future posts will post for your stuff but any friends of yours who opted in or accepted the application before you joined, they'll still be tied to whoever's website your system was promoting. Okay, Jackie, any idea if the company gonna event? If you're asking me if the company's gonna have events after we get launched and stuff, absolutely. We were talking about that the other day. Okay, Raymond, how do you deal with the other folder situation when sending a message on Facebook? If you're sending messages on Facebook, that's up to you. This system doesn't send messages through Facebook. It sends them to their email address that they use to register through Facebook. Now, we do realize that not everybody, uses their Facebook email address, and so they might not ever check those emails, but we do realize that those email addresses are real. Now, this doesn't have anything to do with sending messages from Facebook to Facebook or having all those things pop up. If you have 20 people, on Facebook getting messages from you in the system, those aren't folders that pop up on your screen. They're getting emails actually to their email box, not their Facebook email. When they're not getting it to, bigjoe@facebook.com. Big Joe might have bigjoe97@AOL.com that he used to confirm his account. That's his. I'm not talking about the actual Facebook email address, but the email address they use to create their Facebook account. Okay. Dallas is asking if Jarhead is feeling better. Yes, a lot better. He's not 100% yet, but he's a whole lot better than he was yesterday, that's for sure. Okay. Again, everybody who's writing thank yous and everything, I appreciate it. I'm glad you appreciate what we're doing here, but it makes it hard to find the questions. I know we got a packed house here. Okay, Daryl, does the autoresponders emails need to be written by us so we can add our programs? No, when you set it, it's going to be fields, like they're going to be saying, hey, they're going to go write the emails. It's going to automatically input the person's name on Facebook. It's going to input the person's name, you, that's there, plus whatever information you've provided. So when you set up your page, it says, hey, I want to use my system to promote Amway, and you got like amway.com/Doug, I'm just making up websites here. So that's all you got to do. So when somebody opts into your page, they're going to get an email. It's going to import their information saying, hey, Becky, this is an email from Doug, and Doug would like you to go check out, amway.com/Doug. You didn't write any of that. You just put in your name and you put in the company you want to promote. Now, if you didn't put in any company, it's going to say, hey, Becky, you got an email from Doug here. He wants to encourage you to check out our tools that you already know is working at ToolsTeam 2.0. Again, that's not going to be the company name, but this is all stuff that's going to be built in. And then when the thing, we announce something else, Becky gets an email. Hey, Becky, I'd like to invite you to this webcast that we're going to be doing, and we're going to have so-and-so there, and they're going to give away, prizes and money, and I'd love for you to win. And have you checked out, amway.com/Doug yet? Or something to that effect. And you don't write any of these things. It's all built in. Not saying that you're not capable of doing it, but it's tools. It's trying to automate your success as much as possible. Now, that doesn't mean you can't go in there, and because you got all of Becky's info too. You can write Becky and say, hey, Becky, I just came back from my Amway event, and I'm so excited. We were down in Atlanta, and we did this, that, and the other. And hopefully next time you'll come with us and walk across the stage with me. I'm excited, and blah, 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 blah. And, then you could write that email and send it to everybody on your list, one at a time or something, and say the same thing to John. Hey, John, I just came back, or whatever. You'll have access to all of that information simply because they clicked the button. Okay? Hope everybody caught that. You have access to all that information because somebody on Facebook clicked a button. Even if all they wanted to do is find out what's this cruise stuff that people want, and they didn't even attend. You've got their info. They didn't provide any info. They clicked the button, and they didn't even go to the webinar. They didn't even go to 3 webinars, and that's being posted on their page, and their friends' friends clicked on the button, and they didn't go to the webinar, but they're getting emails from you. Hello? Anybody home? I hope this is starting to catch on. I know I'm talking about stuff that's coming, but that thing is a wicked thing all by itself. I know, Jarhead says, that thing's worth $40, but, anything's of value you can make worth anything you want, and that thing's worth a lot of money. And if you just turn it on and let it work, there's going to be people who are going to get their 4 referrals by accident. I'm not going to say it's all going to happen the first day, but people can say, hey, I'm on Facebook and I got an email saying I sponsored somebody. I don't even know who Kevin Johnson is. And they might, I don't have any friends named Kevin Johnson. Maybe Kevin Johnson's a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend who decided to join. He doesn't have a clue who you are. Okay. Dallas says, when you share on someone's post, do you get their email address? No. You can, anytime somebody shares anything that you've posted, and I used to do that a lot. I mean, here recently I've stopped doing it because I've been doing this stuff. But if I saw something that I wanted to share, I wouldn't share it and give them credit for it. I would copy it, put it onto my thing, and then I would take it into a paint shop, put my web page on there, and then post that on my page. And then if anybody wanted to share it, now it says it's shared from me, and everybody that they share it with and that they share it with is seeing my web page. Whether it was Shaquille O'Neal or Will Smith or the Dalai Lama, all these things, and even though the quote had nothing to do with business, they liked what the quote said, and they shared it, and they sent my website all over the place. I didn't get any of their information, but it tells you who shared it, and so you can go to their page and say, hey, thanks for sharing it if you want to, but you don't get their email address. That's just Facebook training stuff. That's nothing, I'm not going to lie to you, that's nothing that you can't do without these tools. That's stuff that I'll be teaching you how to do, though, for those who want to listen. Okay. Doug says, is the cruisy one just for me or one other person? And yes, one other person can go with you, Doug, as long as it's me. No, I'm just kidding. You can take your wife. Yes, it is for one other person. Daryl says, will we have an email blaster type tool? Not the way that you're probably asking the question. Is the system's gonna, as more and more people join or purchase the product, those emails are gonna go out. Okay, as more and more people opt in for whatever reason, cruises, webinars, or opt-in pages or what have you, those are emails that are going to go out. So the system is emailing all these things, again, with a very high deliverability rate. But just to give you an example, let's say we're starting right now, and Daryl joins, and Daryl, I'm Daryl's sponsor, and he joins. I get an email saying, hey, I got a pay raise. I'm now going to make $5 a month because I sponsored Daryl, and because that's 70 cents in my matrix, so I just got a $5.70 pay raise. So Daryl joins, he gets a welcome email, and I get an email saying, hey, I just got a $5 pay raise. And of course, that's a bad example because I'm at the top. Let's say I'm not at the top and there's 10 people above me. Each one of them are getting an email saying, hey, congratulations, you just got a pay raise, you just got a pay raise, you just got a pay raise. So that now one person joined, and there's, 11 emails that go out. So right now we have 1,000 people a day. If this was 1,000 people a day and we're paying, there's 11,000 emails a day just going out in notices. Now, for somebody who's people will be able to turn off these notices when, if you're having 1,000 people a day and they're mostly on your team, you don't want 1,000 emails a day, but you can turn those off. But people who are getting 1 or 2 emails a day, And so they think, oh, big deal, I made $1.40 or whatever. But if this is residual saying, hey, if you made $1.40, your residual went up by $1.40 today. Maybe tomorrow it went up by 70 cents. Next day it went up by $2.10 or what have you. And every day your residuals are increasing. It's not too long, those one or two people a day entering your matrix somewhere because maybe you did something, maybe somebody below you did something, maybe spillover happened above you, what have you. You got to realize once somebody's below you, anything they do is more money for you, whether you sponsor them or not. And those emails of 70 cents, 70 cents, 70 cents, that's residual stuff that you're going to get every month on that same time frame. Okay? Same with the $5. All right. Let's next cruise winner, Ida Green. Shoot me an email and include your email. I'm not sure who your sponsor is, Ida, but with the cruises, we don't need that. Just shoot me an email. And and when you win cruises, be looking for a subject line of your certificate. I actually have the cruises sent to you. They don't come from me, so you're not going to get an email from me. You'll get an email from the company. So don't throw off something that says here's your certificate, because that's how you get the cruise. So we got Doug Hinton and Ida Green. Kim, you're the one getting the $20 paid for, so that's why I need your username and your sponsor's name and sponsor's username. Okay, Doug's got a lot of questions here tonight. Okay, Doug, I have tried to post certain programs on Facebook in the past, and Facebook said it was banned content. Will our program be banned content? Why are some programs banned? Okay, posting stuff on your own page is fine, unless it's porn. I'm pretty sure you're not talking about porn or nudity. If you're posting stuff that other companies have, where a whole bunch of people posted stuff on other people's web page, we'll just say company X. We're all in company X, and people are spamming other people's Facebook pages. So now you're thinking, hey, I want to post company X on my page. That kind of thing can get turned down. But usually if it's on your own page, they'll still let you do it if it's your page and you're posting company X, again, unless it's some kind of porn or nudity. Now, because Jarhead knows his way around this, there's a program called Web of Trust. Web of Trust, they try to give you the idea that they have your best interest in heart, but I'm not trying to get on a soapbox here, but it's kind of like the online version of the Better Business Bureau, and I'm not a fan of the Better Business Bureau either. They've got nothing but negative things to say. Well, what the Web of Trust does is, if anybody complains about websites, it doesn't matter if it's justified or not. Maybe they're complaining because everybody's leaving their company and they don't want them to promote Amway, so they make up complaints about Amway. So anytime somebody goes to an Amway link on Facebook, it'll say, hey, warning, this program, this web page may not be safe. Click here to continue, or it'll say, hey, it's green or red or whatever the colors are. Most people, when they get that, they won't click through. Oh, warning, maybe there's a virus or whatever, and there isn't. It's just because a few people said this page is no good. Well, Jarhead knows his way around that. If that does happen, where people are making complaints, and they will, why? Because they didn't join yet, or their people are using your tools instead of their tools, or they don't have the tools, or they're not smart enough to use them, and so instead of coming on board, is they'll complain about them, thinking they can get them turned off so that they become unusable. Well, no problem. They can turn the thing off all the time. Jarhead knows how to make a new domain name for it that'll point to it that they don't recognize, and they can't complain about the things long enough. So he actually made one that we used before during 1.0, and nobody ever complained about that because he used Web of Trust name in the domain itself. So they'd have to be, it would appear that they're saying, hey, this Web of Trust domain is not trustable, because it used the link WOT, which is their initials, and so they don't want to say that that's not safe or unrecommended. So, like I said, Jarhead knows his stuff. Okay. This is from Ron. Will Jarhead be adding a Facebook game? Yes, but that's going to probably be a couple months down the road. There'll be all kinds of things to draw attention to your page, whether it's games, cruises, prizes, and the whole intent is just to get people to opt in or to promote, whether it's, hey, I'm going to do this game, they want to win a scholarship or whatever, and they're out there promoting. They can probably care less about your juice deal, but they want to see if they can win a scholarship or win some cash or win a car or something. But they're out there promoting because all the other games, you know, Farmville and whatever, they might get their name up on a billboard or something or some listing someplace. They're not going to get their college paid for, put money in their pocket, or go on a cruise. They just, hey, you're a great mafia person. Okay, Diane says, is Jughead the owner of just the tools team or the entire business? It's Jarhead, not Jughead. We're not talking about Archie and the gang here with Veronica and stuff, but yes, Jarhead is the owner. Not only is he the owner, the reason I can say with confidence you can't get these tools anywhere else, he made them. This Facebook marketing system I'm talking about isn't something you can go find for free and download it. You can't get this anywhere else at any price because it's his. He made it. Now, can somebody figure out how to copy it or something down the road? Maybe, but his security is his game there too. Okay, Maria says, first time on webinar, what will the name of the company be? We're not telling anybody until it gets ready for release. Okay, Michael, we set up our own autoresponder emails to be dripped on specific following or list. You can if you want to, but the system is built up. The system isn't to replace everything that you're already doing, unless you're doing nothing. These are all things to make your job easier. If you're doing things already that are working, these are just things to enhance it. If you already have an autoresponder that you like to send out to people on your list, this list is warm. This list is hot. These are lists of information. They didn't even know that you were going to have it. Okay, these are things people responding to stuff right now. Hey, I want to go on a cruise. I want to go on a webinar. I want to see the webinar that I missed or what have you. So you can put them into any system you want. Okay. Kaz, will it have a complete sales funnel, capture pages we can create, sales pages, and autoresponders? Absolutely. Cindy, I have tried to post a website to my Facebook and it was blocked by Facebook. Is there a way around this? Just like I said, Jarhead will be able to do that. And if you're posting to your personal page, you can pretty much post anything there. If you're posting up a website with a company that's like Explosial and some of the companies who, it's not because of anything the company did, it's because members went out and spammed other people's websites by putting their links on other sites, not their own page. And then those things can be banned. That's the other reason why in some of the training you learn about branding. You know, like I only post my page, and whether doesn't matter what company I'm promoting, it's my page. Same thing for you. You know, if you can get cindyjoy.com, go get cindyjoy.com. It doesn't matter if cindyjoy.com might be a travel deal this month, could be juice next month, and you know, make up the month after that. If cindyjoy.com, I just give an example, it's probably taken, but just so you know what I mean. Andrew, in the future, is it possible that there will be a URL tracker in the system? Absolutely. James, regarding the bulk email tool, will the system provide HTML to enable us to embed capture fields on our own capture pages? Or all that will be embedded already. You're already seeing that when you get the emails from Jughead, or now you got me saying it, and Jarhead at ToolsTeam.com, you see his mugshot and colors and stuff. It's already in HTML. Okay. Ida says, thanks for the cruise. Is there going to be other webinars? Yes, I'm doing them almost every day this week. Okay. Oh, Cindy does have cindyjoy.com. Well, hey, I guess I just gave you a free plug there, Cindy. Congratulations. Uh, how many members we got in the company and how many members in total? There's over 14,000. That was actually yesterday. I'm not sure what I mean, we've been getting over 1,000 a day. And actually right now, tonight, actually marks, this is exactly 2 weeks. We started taking pre-enrollments about 9 o'clock at night on July 2nd, as you see on the leaders page. So it's been exactly 2 weeks, and we didn't get 1,000 the first day, but we're definitely averaging well over 1,000 per day right now. Okay, Doug, can we use all the ToolsTeam's tools to promote as many things as we want to, or is there a limit? You can do whatever, you can promote anything you want as many times as you want. They're yours. Take ownership. Yes, your capture pages, you can have them go with and without Facebook, and you can have them strictly just for your program. If you don't want them getting any information about the tools, that's going to be an option also. Okay. When this Facebook tool comes available, how and where do I go to access this tool? All you're going to have to do initially as a paid member will be to click on the button, and you have to be logged into Facebook at the time, and then it'll say, okay, we know Doug's a paid member, so that when the posts start going out, all of your friends and your friends' friends, their friends' friends, 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 until any of those pay, they're all getting your info. And Bob says, when do we pay? The pay will start the same time when the first initial site goes live, and I'll tell you the same thing that Jarhead said 2 weeks ago. He said this month. Believe me, I'm trying to push him for a date, everybody. I want to get this thing going. Not because I need any money. Here's this is just me thinking, and I told Jarhead this, is I think, that I'm very happy that we have 1,000 people a day. I know not 1,000 people a day are going to actually pay the 20 bucks, because it could be 20 cents, and there's still going to be people who say, I ain't going to do it. Or I sent my pre-enrollment link to 5 people, and all of them said that's a scam, Van's a con artist, it's a ripoff, it's only 20 bucks, whatever reason they said they ain't going to do it. And so they haven't got any referrals. So for whatever reason, I know not everybody who's pre-enrolled is actually going to pay the 20 bucks. But I do know we will have not too far down the future, like within the first month, where we do have 1,000 people a day who are paying $20. Okay, now here's how I'm seeing the surge. When we go live, there's going to be the initial rush of however many of those 14,000 people do pay. They're all going to want to. Doesn't matter how many times we say, hey, you got 5 days or 4 days or whatever it is. There's going to be a huge rush of, say 3,000 who go and pay right away. I'm not saying we're not going to have more than half or anything. I'm just picking out a number. Now, there's going to be an initial surge. We're saying, okay, now the leaders board is going to switch from pre-enrollees to saying, hey, who's actually getting people to pay? And though maybe the same exact people will be at the top, maybe not. I hope it is at the top, because I'd love to have Joe get 2,600 paid referrals, and Omni to get 1,400, me get 600, and the people on down the line get a very high percentage of those converting to paid sales. Now then I think the next surge will be is once people realize, when people are using the tools and it's starting to show up on Facebook and they're seeing some webcasts being made and realizing, hey, I can do this and I don't need to pay Citrix $100 to $500 a month. I can go use these tools, and they can start to realize, hey, these tools, Van just wasn't full of crap. They really are worth more than 20 bucks each individual tool by itself, especially the Webcaster. That's not my favorite tool, but it's definitely the most easiest one to compare value, because there's a similar tool, we're using it right now, that costs up to $500 a month. Ours is 20 bucks and there's no limit. You'll never have it. You'll never hear me say in the future saying, hey, we've maxed out. We can't take any more people on our webcast, like we did here the last 3 nights in a row. I've done a webcast and people have been locked out. All right, so that's not going to happen. So there'll be another surge of people saying, hey, they're going to come for the tools. Hey, it's only 20 bucks. All right. Then about another week after that, and word's going to get out that say, hey, that $20 program, is anybody making any money in that? And it's not because we're going to have people who are making $5,000 and $10,000 right out of the gate. That's people are going to expect that. Okay, well, hey, the guy's a top producer. He does this full time. He better be making that much money, or that's hardly any money at all compared to what my guys are making in my XYZ company. But it's going to be, hey, we've got thousands of people who are making a couple of bucks, and they're getting emails every day, sometimes multiple times a day, about pay raises. And that's what's going to excite people if they go, hey, I'm not sure how this works, but I got 7 emails today saying I got a pay raise each time. It's only $4.90, but they forward those to somebody. Hey, I got 7 pay raises today. I don't know why, not sure what happened, but hey, pay raise is a pay raise. And the next day, maybe they got 2 more. And I go, oh, hey, it's only $1.40, but that's in addition to, the $4 I made yesterday, or the $7, or the 70 cents, or whatever it is. And it's not the big numbers that are going to excite the masses. It's going to be the masses who are making any money at all that are telling the other masses that, hey, this is really working and it's only 20 bucks. Come on in, the water's fine. Tip your toe in or whatever, or try it for $20 and then give it 3 months. If you don't like it, then quit. It's only 20 bucks. If you quit 3 months later, you're out 60 bucks. But chances are you're going to make money. If they come in for spillover, again, wrong reasons, but they're going to get it. So, and who's going to quit if they paid their $20 and they never get charged again? Not because we can't find their credit card or they canceled their card or they died or whatever, because their commissions were being used to pay for their monthly. This will happen. You're going to have people in your organization who signed up, forgot about it, never logged in because they got spillover. Their credit card never shows up for $20 again, and they never go claim their commissions. But you're making $5 a month, and you're matching the matrix commissions that they're not claiming, and you're getting that money every month. There's going to be people who just forgot they joined, or unfortunately they passed away, or what have you. And their card's never getting hit again because they're making enough commissions to pay for their service every month, even though they don't know they forgot about it. Okay, got some more questions popping in here. Michael, is there an advantage to having more than one Facebook page? No, but I know some people will, until they feel comfortable with it, they'll go make up another page because they don't want their friends and family to know that they're doing one of those MLM things, or doing one of those $20 programs with that Coach Van guy, or somebody named Jarhead. Who's that? I don't even like the Marine Corps, or whatever. Okay. Could you put me on your email? Okay, I don't post email addresses here. I mean, pretty much everybody's got it, because most I have sponsored a lot of people. Most of the company is somewhere below me because our team is growing so fast. But I don't want anybody to think I'm doing webinars so that I can, harvest email addresses. But I will tell you this: as I go out marketing myself for more personal referrals, when I find somebody who's already joined, I do take them off my marketing list and move them to a members list. So I send them a totally different email than I do with people I personally refer. And so some of you have been getting updates from me, and I'm not your sponsor, but I still send you an update because I found out I took your email address and made sure my systems weren't prospecting for you to join with me because you're already in. So that I do, and so I sent them a welcome email. So I had somebody go, hey, I joined this like 2 weeks ago. Why am I getting a welcome email now? I go, I didn't know you were in 2 weeks ago, but you're not going to get any more prospecting emails from me anymore, at least not at that address. Okay. All right, don't type any more questions. I usually take all I can, but there's a couple things I got to do here before the next webinar. Michael, is there an advantage? Okay, we answered that one already. Ron, those that pre-enrolled and don't pay their $20, will the company drip emails to them if they decide to join? Will the original sponsor get credit? They'll get drips from the old jarhead at ToolsTeam.com until the time when when they close down your last chance to pay. Then there's not going to be any more dripping from the system. You as an individual can encourage them to go join or to re-opt in at your new page and actually see some of the tools, or just say, hey, come to this webinar and win a cruise or what have you. But once ToolsTeam.com is no longer taking pre-registrations, the email system that's dripping or informing people right now will not be used anymore. Well, hey, I want to thank everybody for being on tonight's webinar. Congratulations to Kim Winters, who has her first month paid for, and to Doug Hinton and Ida Green for winning cruises. And since we gave away 3 last night, Doug, type in an odd number between 5 and 15. And same for you, Ida, and I'll go with whoever types one in first. Okay, I got Doug. All right, hold on a second here. And, okay, people are leaving the webinar now, so you might lose your cruise here. 1, 2, 3. You picked 13. 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, our third and final cruise winner is Jay Brannan. Congratulations, Jay. And so we got Doug Hinton, Ida Green, and Jay, our cruise winners for tonight. First month paid for is Kim Winters. Congratulations to Kim. And Doug, Ida, and Jay, shoot me an email. I know who Jay and Doug are. I'm not sure if I sponsored Ida or not. I know I'm actually the sponsor of Doug and Jay. And then Kim, I'm not sure who your sponsor is, so make sure you include username and your names and username of your sponsor. Good night, everybody. This is going to be posted up on ToolsTeam.net. Be looking for ToolsTeam.net to change quite a bit. If you want to submit your questions to me, we are going to put up a Q&A page, because we have noticed I've been doing these webinars every night, or almost every night, sometimes a couple a night. And some of the questions that always come up, like when's it going to start? Can I see myself in the matrix before I pay? How much are these tools worth individually? How can we pay? When are we going to pay? These questions come up every time. So I'm going to try to take care of a lot of those questions on the page, so people, because a lot of people are using that as a marketing page, which is fine too. All right. Good night, everybody.
Exclusive marketing tools for promoting any online products or services. Only $20 per month. Click on the link below and secure your position today.